We're just like, hey, remember when this guy was in this obscure Broadway show in 1976?
Right? Look at him in those tight pants. Yum. Hire a
All right,
decorator, for
folks.
God's sakes.
Come on, commit to a theme. Come on,
Seriously.
mid-century. Come on.
Weapons is not a decor, okay?
She's got so much blush on.
Yeah.
It's fucking
That
orange.
that blush is gonna melt off.
It is orange. Well, because there's not a
But we
lot
do
really
get,
going on. It's
yeah.
supposed. I mean, unless you're listening to the dialogue, which frankly, audience at home, you can do without us. We're just
Yeah, do
learning
your own
about
work,
some of these
damn it.
backstory. We're not here to impress you.
Recording in progress.
All right, let's see.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Tonight on Murder, She Wrote.
Hooray!
That's right, tonight
It
on
is
Murder, She
tonight on
Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote, isn't it?
Yeah, this very night.
Hi, I'm
Uh,
Victor Devon.
I'm petrified.
And tonight we're gonna paint you a murder.
Ish. What a dumb title for this one.
It is an odd one. I mean,
It
it's sort
doesn't
of
really make
like
sense.
they're like, well, he's a painter. Okay,
We see
great.
almost no painting in this episode.
No, and actually a better one. There's an episode down the line where another painter is killed,
Yes,
and that
yes,
one actually would make more sense since there's
that
a
would be
painting
better.
in question.
Hmm.
But oh
There's also an
well.
episode with an art thief that would make more sense. Yeah,
Yes, that would also. Well, but that was more of a. Well, okay, yes, you're right. There's a painting in question. I was thinking
yeah,
of the sculpture.
right.
Uh,
This should be called like Missing Crossbow or
the
Convenient
musical.
Party. Missing Crossbow the musical. Love it. Sign me up.
This is
I'll
a
write the
good one.
book.
This is a good one. This has gay icon Cesar Romero,
Sure does.
who many may know as either Sophia's loved one in that one episode of Golden Girls or the Joker.
What is
Come
his name
on.
in that episode? I should know this. Uh,
Oh,
Cavallo.
in no, 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 no,
That's the
no, no, no,
curse,
no.
but that's the
That's a different episode. Hang on, it's coming at me.
Oh, you're
Uh,
right. You're right. That is different. This is this is the one where she dresses up like a 65-year-old drag queen.
yes,
Yeah.
Tony.
Tony. Tony.
I don't know if Tony gets
Of
a last
course,
name.
Tony.
Tony Del
Tony.
Vecchio, I want to say, or something
Tony
like
Del
that.
Vecchio. That's absolutely right. Yep. Well done.
But come on, a Cuban homosexual as the Joker, they would claim DEI now, but he is for
Huh.
many one of the best iterations. Um, Folks may also know him from Ocean's 11,
Oh
all
yeah.
kinds of things, all kinds of
He has
things.
been around the IMDb block, we'll say that.
Hmm.
Great, great career. And he gets some nice presents in this episode.
Yeah, he's he's given like the very sensitive, I mean, murder victim
Yeah.
storyline. So sometimes the murder victim is the bastard, and sometimes they're
Yeah.
very sympathetic. This is a sympathetic one.
This is the sympathetic one, and spoiler alert, the murder doesn't come for about 30 minutes in, so we get a lot of him, which is
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
yeah.
They actually used a name, which I know has been one of my complaints about some of the recent episodes. We get these great names and personalities, and they get nothing to do. And this one,
Well,
he gets something.
instead it's Robert Goulet who has almost
I
nothing to
know.
do.
Who I have you heard his singing voice, Robert Goulet, in like
Yes,
Camelot? Oh my gosh.
yes.
What an angel.
If ever I would leave you,
Enchanting.
it wouldn't be in
If
summer.
ever I would leave you.
He will also forever be Jingle Bells, Batman Smells in that episode of The Simpsons where
Oh
he
my
appears
gosh.
in the casino
Yes.
episode.
And I perpetually think of him as the antagonist in Naked Gun 2.5. That's when I think
He,
of Robert Goulet, that's the first thing I think of.
he also spent a lot of time playing himself. Like he's just constantly been just Robert Goulet.
He's truly a Snatch Game character, right?
Any day now. You know
And
what? I would love to see it if they do something like that on Murray Hill's Drag King show.
yeah, yeah,
I think that would actually be a really great one.
totally.
We have
Totally.
two lovely ladies here. We have
Hmm.
Judy Geeson and Capucine. And
Capucine.
oh, Capucine, lovely, tragic. She died about 5 years after this episode by I
She
think she
did.
jumped off a building.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah,
I did
yeah,
not know
yeah.
that. Okay.
As I understand
Downer.
it, she was sick. She was
Oh,
terminally ill, and she was like, I don't want to go that way. So,
well,
and then
I
she
sup
went.
hmm.
But she
At risk
was
of sounding, I hope it's
yeah.
not insensitive to say like I take charge of your life, I guess. I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah.
Take your agency. Do what you
Yeah.
need to do.
Yeah.
Uh but I will remember her also from the Pink Panther, and she was many an Italian classic.
Yeah. Looking through some of her IMDb photos and resume, just stunning. So
Mm.
captivating, magnetic. Yeah.
Obviously French,
Anyway,
not Italian.
she plays
Yes.
Belle Cheney, who is I think she's a piano player who is dealing with a physical impediment that has impacted her playing. So
Yeah.
that's
It's like
kind of
arthritis of some variety. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then Judy Geeson, who I have seen in I feel like everything. She has one of those faces from the 80s. She's done every show, but she never necessarily had like the big career of someone like Robert Goulet, but she's been doing the work. I really
She'll
like her
be
in this
in
episode.
I do too. She's a little earnest at times. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
a
But
little Lady
she'll
Di.
also appear as an evil nun in or a form an evil not nun pastor's wife in a future murder she wrote as
I
well.
mean, aren't they all?
It is a
Anyway, so
lovely
what?
getaway.
We're at Cesar Romero's sort of Mediterranean retreat, his home,
Yeah. I don't know
for
if
a
they
birthday party,
specify
right? Yeah.
for
He didn't say where.
his 60th, which
Yeah.
they're being very kind because he's Romero was deep into
He's
his 70s by the time this
definitely
rolled
older.
around.
Yeah. If he's 60, he's
But
not looking so hot.
and then they
Give
had
him
him
some
play 80
credit.
something in that Golden Girls only a few years later. So,
Uh,
you know what? Get yourself a man who can do everything.
truly, collect that check is what I say. So there's a lot of fodder in the beginning of this episode, a lot of stuff that just fills space as far as I'm concerned. Kind of character building. One thing that we should mention is that Robert Goulet is generally unpleasant and people around him don't seem to like him, but he hints that he just bought one of Caesar I'm gonna call him Cesar Romero, not Diego Santana, because that's what I'll remember. But he bought one of
That's
his
fine.
photographs or paintings, even though everybody knows he has money trouble
Somehow he managed to afford, was it the Gold Madonna?
somehow. Meanwhile, Cesar Romero is teaching little kids how to paint.
Donkeys.
And he says, especially you got to work on your fucking art, girl. What a thing to say. By the way, earlier in the scene when he was helping them sort of paint and he's working with, I think he calls him little Pedro. Um, this kid does not look like he's drawn on that 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 board at all. It looks like he's looking at an iPhone or something. He could care less.
Uh,
Anyway, at
and
this retreat, there's such a lovely assortment of people. We have an inspector, we have uh, a philanthropist, we have a piano player, we have his new wife. Um, it's funny that none of these people seem to work in the same industry or have the same paths, but here we are converging at this birthday party. Very
yeah,
mystery book.
it is. It is. Everyone has to be a different thing.
Mhm.
It's otherwise, I mean, it doesn't make any sense if you would have multiple people in the same industry. You need to be able to
Truly.
uh and we also have a much younger wife. So
Hmm.
Diego, aka Cesar Romero, has a much younger wife, which is not frequent in Murder She Wrote. Very often it's an older woman and a younger man.
You think?
I do.
Oh, okay. We'll have
I
to pay
do.
attention to that. I mean,
Uh
I feel like
my
we see so often that there are like these older gentlemen with beautiful young ladies on this show.
there are some there I mean there probably is probably a healthy helping of both.
Fair.
But I've always thought of like the Janet Leigh episode,
Mm.
or like when she has the much younger man who is Grady's former college uh classmate.
Oh, right.
Um
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like there's a few. I mean I mean Jessica herself is for uh oh God, what's his name? her former secretary,
David Tolliver.
Tolliver.
Oh, how could I forget?
So I mean, I feel it comes up at least enough where it's not an issue, but it's an element of discussion.
Yeah,
Here, yeah, she's a much younger woman who's clearly devoted to Diego, but
yeah. But she also has some candy on the side in the sculptor played by Stephen Keats, named Stefan Conrad. Is it Stefan or did they pronounce it Stephen? I can't even remember now.
I just
But
want to say Stefan.
Stefan, Stefan. Wasn't he related to Steve Urkel?
Stefan was the Nutty
He was.
Professor version of
Definitely remember that on Family Matters. Anyway, by the way, we don't even get Jessica for like the first 12 minutes of this episode. So,
no.
yeah.
All of these characters, she has to learn all of them
Hmm.
after us,
You'd think
which
she would
is
be here.
very uncommon.
Yeah. We should also mention that at the beginning of the episode, someone was chiseling in a planter on like a third story roof balcony, um, very insidiously, right? Oh my God.
Insidious chiseling.
Yeah. So we're at this dinner party and Diego reveals a painting and he's supposed to be like a world famous painter, right?
Yeah.
This painting is ugly. It is
Oh
very
well,
ugly.
it can't live up to it. They probably would have
No.
done better not to show us.
Yeah, especially since they're all like, it's a masterpiece. It's incredible. Takes my breath away. No, no.
But he
It looks
gives
like little
it
Pedro did
to
it.
it's not a donkey. He gives it to Judy Geeson, who moments earlier was talking about how she's the only one there who doesn't have a painting, and if she
Hmm.
did get a painting, she would sell it basically to feed the orphans.
Yeah.
All well and good. But that was really
What
in
a saint.
contrast to Robert Goulet, who was basically like, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Hmm. You got to
She's
make
the
some money,
altruistic
honey.
one. And he's out there in his evening jacket, playing the guitar, where a
Looking very
mysterious
dapper.
smoking person in gloves is about
Hmm.
to brain him with a
Brain
piece of the
him.
building.
Brain him. Gross.
Oh, it's like a planter, yes.
I mean, this would definitely kill you if this hit your head.
Minimum.
Yeah, this is
It would at least kill you.
minimum. This is a Marta situation. It's gonna bludgeon. So he's lucky he
Oh, poor
escapes
Marta.
it. Yeah, poor Marta. Oh, by the way, his young lady here is she is played by Cristina Raines. I don't know this actor, but she is
Mm-mm.
lovely.
Very
She is
pretty.
so
Very, very pretty.
striking. Hard not to look at her when she's on screen, and I think she's a good actor too. She plays sort of the soap opera without it getting really, really sticky sweet, you know?
Yeah. So it's the next
So,
day. He
yeah.
lives to die another day. And
Uh,
now we're at the
by the way,
beach.
the presence that was up there and pushed the planter off of the roof was very careless, just like dropping things left and right. Cigarette butts, little packs of
Yeah.
lighters, like don't or matches. Wouldn't you be more careful if you were gonna commit murder and try to off somebody? Didn't you think you'd clean up
Right.
after yourself a little better?
Make it look like an accident.
Like,
A
come
little
on,
a little
man.
better.
Yeah.
But someone is arriving by helicopter. Who could it be?
This helicopter is the greatest prop I've ever seen.
Also, those propellers, they stop real quick. They
I
stop
know.
real quick and they get awfully close to their heads.
It looks like they're each going to get decapitated in this scene, in fact. Um, Although there's also no wind whatsoever. I fully believe that these propellers were just pushed by a stagehand to make them look like they were sort of running. That that helicopter was never even turned on.
This is very lovely. I believe this is Pasadena. So this is
Oh, okay.
Pasadena, which does indeed have a Mediterranean ecosystem, as it
Hmm.
were. Riverside does as well, where I call home.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's not quite the desert. It does have some greenery and some brush,
It's
but
beautiful.
many of the plants don't belong here. Yeah, many
Mm.
of them don't. Oh, And Robert Goulet has passed
Collapse in the
out.
sea. And Judy Geeson's
Jessica
wearing
just got
lovely
there and
yellow.
someone's already.
Right away. She's there 60 seconds and someone is someone's falling over.
Oh, and she was with a gentleman,
She came with Sir
Landry?
John.
Yes,
Sir John Landry, yeah.
in this fabulous red cravat.
I know. Jess looks good for traveling. Oh, by the way, we got to talk about the Men of Murder She Wrote. Cesar Romero's son,
Yes.
Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel is very good looking.
Is he? He
Yeah,
does it for you?
yeah. I can't help it. I can't help it. These are the things
No,
I notice. This is what we're here
these are
for.
the thing. This is what we must do. I have to say also, like Cesar Romero, who was very handsome in his youth,
Hmm.
it still has a great sense of like dignified, handsome older gentleman, I would
Oh yeah.
say. He is well preserved.
He looks like he smells good.
I would be shocked if he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, that helicopter flying out, I was certain
Yes.
it was going to crash into those cliff
It
walls.
was a little topsy-turvy.
It didn't even ascend. My goodness. They're like, we don't have clearance from air traffic control. Just keep it low. Keep it low.
So it's so convenient, however, that Jessica came by helicopter because that helicopter just lifted Robert Goulet to the nearest hospital, which is not that close.
Can't be.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's being headed off to wherever, basically to find out what the hell is wrong with him.
Hmm. And what is Jessica's relationship to him, by the way? Just a friend. Just somehow a friend.
Just a friend.
A world famous
She
painter
finds
that she
herself
has
in the art world a lot. So I think
yeah.
we're meant to believe that he's just an affluent friend that
Hmm.
she has somehow met over the years. Maybe he
Yeah.
vacationed in Maine.
Maybe. I have a feeling this is because she's an author, a famous author, she meets these affluent people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even
Mm-hmm.
though we're only halfway in season one and there hasn't been much time for that since she's been
No, but she's already
solving
got four
murders
to
left and
five
right.
books. She's
Yeah,
got 4 to 5 books on her shelf, so
she writes quick. She writes quick.
yes.
He's confiding in her to say, yeah, someone tried to kill me last night and push this plan around my head.
And
And
it
he
would be
is
really
certain
cool
it's
if you
one of
could
his
figure out
guests.
who.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you do, girl. Figure this out for me.
Now, as far
I
as we
mean,
know, the only two people that are in that are not suspects are Jessica herself and Sir Landry,
yeah,
who just showed up with her.
yeah, yeah. Oh, this moment, this dramatic moment where Belle Capucine is playing the piano
Capucine.
and oh, my hands. Oh,
Ah,
my hands.
I couldn't possibly.
The general hospital of it all.
I mean, that's got to be fucking awful to
Uh-huh.
have this massive skill and then your body betray you.
Oh yeah. I mean, to put it in like present context, think of someone like Celine Dion
Sure.
who is dealing with an
Julie
impediment to her
Andrews.
skill. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
devastating, right? So yeah. Even though I tease, I have lots of sympathy for what this means. I think she's a really compelling character too.
I would love more of her. I think
Yeah, she
she's
needs more to do.
fabulous.
She needs a
I
lot more
think
to do.
she's fabulous.
And boy, does she have some teeth.
Yes, she does. She does. I don't know if they were all hers all along,
I
but
don't
they're hers
know.
now. She has the receipt.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
Jessica is
the very messy plant pusher
uh-huh.
has
You
left
couldn't clean that
behind.
shit up. Literally has chiseled this planner off of this and left all of the shavings from his work. Like, come on, sir. You don't want to get caught? Clean up after yourself. It's the first rule of murdering someone, right?
It shows a certain lack of commitment to the bit. It really does.
That's true.
Yes. Maybe they were just so certain that they would get this guy that no one would question it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And they really tried to do it before Jessica got there, but now that Jessica's there, well, they're all kind of screwed.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so there's this Inspector
Mm,
uh
Kyle.
Henry Kyle, Inspector Henry Kyle, who I was certain the first time I saw this was going to be the killer because he is kind of creepy. And I know he's supposed to be. Um, Actually, I will say in this episode, more than many that we've watched, everybody feels like a real suspect
Hmm.
to me. Like everybody
Mhm.
has something kind of creepy about them. Everybody's given like a moment where they're like looking looking at Jessica or off in the distance mysteriously like they have something to hide. I like that.
Yeah.
And it feels like this feels like a true tight murder mystery, Agatha Christie
Yeah.
style,
Agatha
right?
Christie style.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I
Cool
think there
little
are other,
note.
yeah.
This gentleman here, Ron Moody, played Fagin in the film version of Oliver.
Yes.
Clive Revel, who we saw a couple of episodes earlier in the New Orleans episode, played
Hmm.
Fagin originally on Broadway.
Well, look at that. We
All
love to
of
pull
these
from the
things.
Broadway.
Yes.
Love that. Um,
So this man, I'm waiting for him to sing and dance with some orphans. So
well, we saw them in the beginning, right? Learning how
it's
to
true.
paint donkeys.
That's that's the outreach program.
That's
Like
right.
all of these poor children of the village every week get to hang out with this local artist and learn how to paint
Well,
donkeys because
okay.
that's the kind of boys
Paint
and girls
donkeys.
club that we get here.
That's God's work. That's walking children in nature. Well, hold on a second. Where do these kids come from? Because they say later that there's only certain people on this island or wherever they are. Were
They
all
were
these kids
bussed
just like
in.
flown in?
Yeah,
How'd they get
I
there?
guess. I
I
guess. I
guess
mean,
these are
this
not the
probably
questions I should be
is
asking,
this
but
actually an island or is this like a peninsula? Because it
I
might just
don't
be really
know.
far from things.
Maybe, maybe. I don't
There
actually
might
know
be an
that they
actual
say.
coastal, either a land bridge or
Hmm.
a
Well, they say
town
later that
far
the
away.
only way to get there is by boat or the helicopter. So where'd all those kids come from? Um,
All right, I don't know. Good call. I really I
we
really
got
hadn't
a
thought
we got a
about it.
plot hole here. Um, Meanwhile, Jessica and the inspector are sort of chatting about who could have done it. Um, and they hear good old Caesar arguing with Stefan. And these guys are almost going to get in a fist fight, but but not. It's the most passive physical argument I've ever seen. He
Yeah,
like
well, the inspector
flops his hand out.
is the
Yeah.
cranky cop in this
Yeah.
episode.
Hmm.
So, and
See,
he
look at
is the
him being
actual
all creepy.
authority.
Yeah.
Those Fagin eyes.
Creepy. Oh, and look, Judy Geeson looking creepy too.
Just staring,
I love it.
keeping an
I
eye
love
on
it.
things.
Thank you for
That
doing the work
Deptford.
that my Johnny Les over the ocean did not. That's true.
Poor my Johnny.
But what they did determine when they were inspecting the planter was that it was likely a left-handed culprit because they found a matchbook and the matches were pulled from the left side. That that's a
They
stretch for
love
me,
a
but
right hand, left
hmm
hand storyline.
hmm
They love it.
they sure do.
And it really fucks with them when somebody's ambidextrous
Ooh,
or is implied to be.
but what a good foil, right?
Yeah.
Not here, not here.
No, no,
Um,
this is all very clearly left-handed. And it also has to be a smoker because
oh yeah,
otherwise, yeah.
yeah.
Although that would be a great uh diversion, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
To go up, not actually smoke, but have a lit cigarette and have that be
Yeah. Well, because theoretically, I mean, I don't know what was available at the time as far as CSI goes, but um, would they have like DNA on a cigarette butt? Is that something that would be measurable?
uh we're on the cusp.
Hmm.
We're on the cusp. So I watched a film recently enough called Totally Killer, where Sabrina the Teenage Witch goes back in time, and the actress who plays her,
Yeah.
Kiernan Shipka, uh, and she has like 2020 energy. So she's like, "Oh, I found the DNA," and they're like, "What the hell are you talking
Hmm.
about? It's 1985." So I feel we're on the cusp, since that obviously was a documentary, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm basing this on.
Um, Also, good old Diego, aka Caesar, has weapons all over the wall, including a crossbow,
Hmm.
because you do. That's what you do.
And it is Chekhov's crossbow,
Hmm.
because if you see that crossbow, you'd better use it. because otherwise, what is the point of us seeing it?
We have a whole moment where he says, "Look at this, and my son can really use this crossbow. He's a pro."
Can we have a moment
Um,
for Jessica's outfit?
yeah.
This stunning black and
Okay.
gold creation right here.
Actually, everybody looks great tonight.
Everyone looks so good.
Everybody. Capucine looks so beautiful. It's it. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Margot, the wife, looks really great in that sort of
Mm-hmm.
zebra-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is definitely a style highlight from this season so far. Yeah. All these rich people, these rich people in their
Rich.
rich clothes. Oh,
Ah, poor Capuchin.
she had a
Capuchin
moment of
cannot
piano
play
again.
anymore.
Yeah. Um, sort of a side note that I'm not sure is totally relevant to the story, but so Caesar's ex-wife and his new wife are all hanging out and everybody's being lovey-lovey, happy. And is it Sir John that says like, "How do you all do it?" And Caesar says, "It's love." And I
Modern.
thought, okay, okay, a real modern family here.
I mean, that
Sounds
is
like he wants to
also
have his cake and eat it too, to be honest. But
that's gay friendships too, though. Like
I,
I
well,
feel
I
as
agree.
someone
I
who
fully
has hung
agree.
out with an ex-partner and his lover,
Uh-huh.
be-
Oh, I've done it so many times I can't even count, to be honest. My best friend is a former partner, and I spend time with him and his partner, and they spend time with me and mine, and yeah. So this is the future that liberals want.
but it's interesting here because Belle is very upset and
Hmm.
Elaine assumes that, oh, it's because of your arthritis. And
Yeah,
she said, no, it actually that I guess I'm not that modern. I was looking at Diego stare fondly at his new wife.
yeah.
But we didn't see that scene because we were focused on Jessica, and so we didn't even see the lovey-dovey looks.
No, no. But we believe it because Capucine is magnetic and charming.
So good.
I
So
think
good.
this is actually here to make her a credible suspect as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why we have this sort of soap opera moment where she says, "Oh, my ex-husband and his new wife. Oh." Yeah. Meanwhile, Elaine
And
with those
Judy Geeson again stares off into the distance.
she does a lot of that. A lot
Once
of that quiet
again.
stare, yeah. What's she thinking? What is she
Mm.
thinking?
Oh,
Okay.
and Chekov's crossbow.
Hmm.
We're pulling it off the wall.
Somebody's taking it. Somebody wearing a brown
Different
glove.
gloves.
Different gloves this time.
Hmm.
I hope they match their
Grabbing,
outfit.
what is that? A quill? Is that what that's referred to as? A bunch of arrows in a.
Is that right?
I don't
You got
remember.
me. I am no weapons expert, sir. I'm vehemently opposed to
Quiver. It's a
any
quiver.
kind of weapon.
Quiver.
A quiver?
Mm.
Oh, he's Caesar's going for a walk with his dog in a nice
With his
white
dog.
outfit. Very convenient for
Yeah.
showing bloodstains.
Shit, we are 30 minutes in. Wow,
Yeah,
this episode has gone the fuck
it
by.
is swimming past us.
Which, but to be fair, not a lot has happened.
No, no. I feel like we're talking about a lot of things that aren't actually happening on the screen.
Well, because there's not a
But we
lot
do
really
get,
going on. It's just
yeah.
mostly, it's just, I mean, unless you're listening to the dialogue, which frankly, audience at home, you can do without us.
Hmm.
Uh, we're just
Yeah, do
learning
your own
about
work,
some of these
damn it.
backstory. We're not here to impress you.
We're not a
Uh,
synopsis show. Uh, we do get a killer point of view now, loading this crossbow and pointing it directly at our dear friend Caesar in white. Um,
oh,
and I will say, I am glad we don't see it happen.
yeah.
The last thing I want to see is someone get hit with an arrow. I can watch the Hunger Games for that.
Oh, why look who's here. It's the inspector wearing gloves, might I
Uh-uh-uh.
add.
See? He's
Yeah.
suspicious.
And I think they're brown. They're not the right shade, but
No,
there's no reason to believe he didn't have multiple pairs of
that's
gloves.
true. That's true.
And
And
there he is.
oh, poor Judy Geeson as
Yeah.
Elaine. She's the one that found the body on the beach. I think she plays this so well, by the way.
Yeah.
This like finding a body scene. Like
Very believable
it's
screaming.
hysterical enough, but not like cartoonish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I really like her in this episode.
She's
She
wonderful.
also
She's
needs more
wonderful in
to
the other
do.
episode she's in too. When
Yeah.
she's Willie John's wife,
Yeah.
she was wonderful in that too.
She has that kind of quiet Olivia Cole quality. Like I want to know what
Mm-hmm.
she's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We saw another suspect, the one who was sculpting
Hmm.
earlier. What's his name? Antonio?
Stefan Conrad.
Stefan, that's right.
Yeah. He's the one who's Stuppen Margot, the young wife, right?
Right. That's how he is a suspect. Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
That's his motif.
Oh, Capucine, your outfit is lovely.
So good. And Margot was in looking like a fabulous Natalie Wood.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
In her Heidi outfit,
And her
picking flowers from
basket
the
of
mountainside.
flowers.
Yes.
That's how she spends her
Grandfather,
days.
grandfather. Oh, that's what's happening here. Oh no.
Yeah. And
Grandfather's dead now. Uh,
yeah. Because she's got to be maybe 22.
maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Certainly could play that way. Um, so Stefan Conrad as the sculptor,
Yeah.
I didn't love his performance in this. He screams a lot
Yeah.
and
He's he's a schmuck in another episode too.
yeah.
In the episode with Esther Rawl.
Hmm.
Uh
Oh yeah.
yeah. He plays the doctor in that. He comes off as a total
Hmm.
schmuck in that too.
Yeah.
I think he's
Something
probably
about
hired
it,
to be kind of schmucky.
maybe. It doesn't seem to match the tone of the rest of the performances in this episode, unfortunately.
Well, everyone else is
Um,
so measured. So
yeah,
I suppose you need at least one hothead,
I guess. I guess.
but everyone here is
Um,
just so fabulously transatlantic where they couldn't
hmm.
possibly be.
They're too
Couldn't be
sophisticated to scream
bothered.
or be upset. Um, we did have a great line from I think it was Capucine who said like, "So we're all stranded in this place, and one of us is the killer." Very Agatha Christie again. Love it. Love that.
So
When we
good.
really lean into the genre we're in, I get excited.
I also want this blouse that Jessica has. This cozy,
It looks
multicolored
comfy. Yeah.
schmata. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Schmata. Yeah.
Mm.
And at this point, I'm starting to believe that the inspector is on our side.
Hmm.
He seems too willing to sort of put himself out there.
Yeah, and we've seen this before where sometimes the killer is a colleague of Jessica's or a
Hmm.
friend who sort of helps her along the way, but just
Yeah.
misdirects her enough. This
Yeah.
doesn't seem that way.
No.
Oh, but we see the son trying to get away
On a boat.
on a boat and terrible at it,
He's
just flopping around in the
he's
ocean.
not a good mariner here. Um,
What a
hits
mess.
himself in the head too, I believe, and
Is
flips the
this one
boat.
Antonio, the son?
This is Miguel.
Miguel. Who the
Miguel.
hell is Antonio?
I think Antonio is a nobody sort of non-speaking walk-on role.
Okay. Folks, but I do
Actually,
have IMDb open just to make sure I remember
yeah,
everybody's names because these
yeah,
shows have too many characters.
they really do.
I do have to say
Look how good
the
looking he is. Oh my God.
yeah, it's pretty great. The
His
Listen
those
Woman,
lips. Mm,
the other Murder She Wrote podcast with the two
hmm.
ladies
Yeah,
who have been very kind to us. They've commented on our things. Thank you
yeah,
for being a friend.
definitely.
They do character by character by character descriptions
Oh wow.
for their synopses, and I'm like, damn, look at you with your murder boards.
They're the doctorate level podcast.
We're just like, hey, remember when this guy was in this obscure Broadway show in 1976?
Right. Look at him in those tight pants. Yum.
uh,
Well, know your audience, I guess.
exactly. Know your hosts.
Uh-huh.
This this sweater, it's what I don't know what that is. It's not cable knit. There's
It
something
no,
so
it's like
severe
kind of
about those.
ribbed, kind of like a
Yeah,
Henley, but like a really deep textured Henley. I don't know what that is. I don't know fashion enough to know.
but it's intimidating. Like I feel
Yeah.
it's like
Oh yeah. So essentially he's sort of a main suspect now because he was just leaving this island with his father's paintings because he needs money.
yeah.
He's struggling with the money. Seems like everybody around here is struggling with money.
I mean, who has painting money? Do you have painting money? Because I don't
Not
have painting
not a
money.
dime. Nary a penny.
My
No,
God.
nothing. Uh, Whenever there's episodes about like artists and all the money they make, I'm like, oh,
I mean, I know it's a different time.
sure,
This is 1985,
sure.
but
The opulent 80s.
yeah.
But and then Jessica's just out on the beach raking the sand.
Beachcombing.
Yeah.
Just checking the
I
low tide leavings.
I fully expect her to have like a visor and a metal detector. Looking for change on the beach.
This is
Um,
also as dressed down as we've seen her. This is very Cabot Cove
oh yeah.
couture for her.
She might as well be fussy jogging.
She's got so much blush on. She has so much
For
blush
doing work
on.
on the beach, absolutely. Yeah.
It's fucking
That
orange.
that blush is gonna melt off.
It is orange.
But she thinks that maybe our good friend Willard Kaufman, Robert Goulet,
Mm,
didn't have a heart attack, and in fact, it may have been something self-induced,
to get him off
which
the
is
island.
yeah, which because he was the only left-handed suspect, and so he still is the only viable person to have pushed the planner off the roof.
Right. So that failed. Somebody else might have been the crossbow. So
Yeah,
we've been under the assumption that it's the same person. It may in fact not be.
yeah, and she found what she was
Jessica's
looking
finding
for.
finding poppers on the beach,
So yeah, Rush.
which she sniffs and goes, "I know what that is.
Uh-huh. Amyl
I know
nitrate
exactly
because
what this
you know
is."
what I know what things smell like? I know what amyl nitrate smells like. Yeah. Yeah.
It smells like video cleaner.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, there's a
So
little dead
they're
weight in the middle here.
a little bit, but not even in the middle.
Yeah.
We're 30. We're nearly almost 10 minutes from the conclusion,
Yeah.
and we're wandering around Diego's studio,
Estate. Yeah. Oh, his
which
studio. Yep.
looks like a little like pagoda.
Hmm. It's cute. It's
It's
cute.
adorable, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like what one imagines perhaps an artist studio would be.
Hmm.
It looks like this tiny little village creche,
Yeah.
basically.
And now it's
Oh, and
nighttime,
there's
and
a
Jessica
fire.
sees it on fire. The studio is on fire. And of course, she's the one who notices it and calls the alarm. But I think it's funny that instead of rushing to the door, she grabs her nightdress first and then rushes to the door.
Listen, it's
She's
chilly out
already in a
there.
full long sleeve
She
nightgown.
has to have some sense of
We got to have a
decency.
robe on too.
Oh,
Do
and
people wear
someone's
robes
passed
this
out
way?
inside. Oh, yeah, I guess. See, they all have robes on. See, they
I
knew.
I feel like this is a lie that I was told as a child that people wear bathrobes all the time,
Mm,
when in fact I
uh,
never saw anybody in my life wear a bathrobe, adult or otherwise, this way.
oh, well, my father I grew up with my father wearing a bathrobe. I wear a variety of sleepwear things, but I don't actually usually sleep in anything,
Yeah,
which is I've
same.
heard is well, look at that. We're getting naked and vulnerable on the pod. But I've been told that that's actually like what happens if there's an emergency, then you got to run out the house naked. I'm like, no, I'd grab my fussy robe. I probably would be able
Yeah.
to.
In that situation, that feels appropriate. These people are all wearing full-length nightgowns already, and then they're throwing bathrobes. Terry, well, these aren't Terry, but actually, style-wise, they look pretty fetching. Like they all look really great in it. Um, oh,
Poor
by the way,
Margot
Margot,
is
Margot was in the studio when it caught fire.
covered in soot, and look how much
Yeah.
soot is on Jessica just
Mm.
from holding her.
Hmm. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
she
maybe
looked
it's a
like she
good. You
rolled
know
on the
what?
floor.
I take it back. It's a good thing she grabbed the robe because it got ruined. She saved her nightgown. She saved her PJs. Um, but so Margot was in the studio and someone grabbed her from behind and did they
Hmm.
knock her out or something? and set that
Yes.
studio on
And
fire.
now Jessica's like, so I know you just had this traumatic event. Let's reenact it right now.
Yeah, and you tell me how
Oh,
this works.
she goes, "Whoa." That
No, that's not what
immediately gives
happened.
her a left hook
Yeah.
and then goes for the right.
Yes,
Because
that's
again, a
it.
left-handed person would never grab someone with their right hand. I don't
Which
know.
that this makes sense to me because your instinct to grab someone would be with your dominant hand. So this makes sense to me.
Yeah,
The matchbook does not. I'm like, is what
it could have
why
blown around.
you know what?
The
I don't smoke, I don't use matches, but I have a little orbit pack. I pick gum from any side I please, okay?
have a little orbit back. Meanwhile, Sir Landry's showing a lot of chest hair.
Oh yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
have anything on to put that robe
Uh-uh.
over.
Uh-uh. He doesn't have much chest hair.
He doesn't. Well, at a certain
No.
point in your age, just sort of.
True.
He
Just have to
also
accept.
it's like a shark tooth, I think.
Yeah. He's a wild man. Yeah. He's an art dealer. Yeah.
And still,
Shark
Capucine
tooth.
serving with this ruffled collar.
Hmm. And Miguel looking as handsome as always. Actually, they would be great next to each other. I would love to see Margot and Miguel as an item.
You want the stepson and the stepmother to get together?
Well,
That's a whole other category,
this is
and
fantasy. It's not
they
even.
are more age appropriate.
Yes, yes. Um, so they assumed that the person who did this was
And
Stefan
again,
Conrad.
he's more and more chest as the
Wow,
scene goes on.
he might as well just be this episode tonight on Murder She Wrote stripped. That's what we're getting at here.
The Sir Landry edition, the Sir John expose.
Uh, so they're all talking
This
about how now that he's dead, his paintings are going to be worth more.
and a bunch of them were just destroyed
Yeah,
in that fire
yeah.
because scarcity is the mother of invention. You
Hmm.
want that. You want that. You don't want that resale value to go up.
I mean, you've heard of Jasper de Kimmel.
I have heard of Jasper the Kimmel. He'll have more money than he'd know what to do with.
Uh-huh. Uh,
A lot of just some pauses. Just
okay, everybody popping out of corners, and I can't wait for the last scene, but seems like people are just
oh my
perpetually
god,
wandering around.
Judy Geeson coming in through the French doors.
Yeah,
It is fantastic. It
just
is
fantastic.
fantastic.
What is this, Shakespeare?
It's so great. It's so great. But Jessica's figured it out,
Yep.
and I think we need to assemble all the suspects
Hmm.
and go
You
through
know,
it.
have a confrontation.
Yeah. Who would that be? Like the what is it called when the one person stands everyone around and says it was you, or maybe it was you. I know who it is. It was actually you.
Oh, does that have a device name?
I don't know.
It
I
should.
feel like it must.
It should. By the way, that helicopter was barely spinning again. The PA was like, "Huh!" and then ran off screen. Action. Expensive
The
prop.
gathering of the suspects
Yeah.
or the roundup. Those are common
Hmm.
tropes.
Jessica looks
That
so good in this
yeah.
outfit, by the way. She does look like she's wearing a couch a bit, but it's working for
I love a complicated pattern, like a
her.
problematic
Hmm.
pattern. I like it.
This is
And
better
that's
than that.
probably wool.
Oh, it must be. You know, in the Mediterranean. It's what you wear.
It's cold.
Is it? So she's talking to Sir John now, and
He calls it a concrete urn. It was clearly a planter. There were clearly plants growing out of it.
yes, yes.
And he's like,
Also, they
oh,
said
when
it was
he
very heavy, and I don't see how that planter could have been that heavy. If this one person chiseled it off that easily, I mean, it would still kill you, but
yeah. And I guess a Grecian urn or a whatchamacallit urn, it doesn't have to be used as an urn.
sure.
Still.
Now we're going through the whole like the person who took care of the urn was left-handed. The person who attacked Margot was right-handed. Um, Confronting Sir
Which
John
must
about
be two
this.
people.
Yeah, gotta be. Um, So
Once again,
Jessica,
so much
she
blush.
thinks they're working together. Oh wow, yeah. Oh wow, that's pink. Those are some flush cheeks. So I'm trying to.
Was
There's not
there?
really a good soundbite here, really. And
No,
to be honest, I don't think this is the best reveal of a killer. I appreciate more dramatic reveals and more what
more
was
sexier, just more.
something.
Yeah. Oh, he needed
It's a
more
little
money.
throwaway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple greed.
Essentially, to give it away, Robert Goulet tried to kill, failed, freaked out because he thought his accomplice would have him in for it. Uh, Gave himself a heart attack. Oh, here they come walking in from the exits.
Waltzing in
How very theatrical. And then Sir John finished the job after Robert Goulet left.
because he was in fact his
Yeah, and they were
co-conspirator.
working together. Yeah.
And we
Um,
learned that Robert Goulet only could have paid for the Gold Madonna. Judy Geeson,
through the French doors.
so good. If
Oh my
Sir John
gosh.
had given him the money.
Everybody gets an entrance here. Oh, the inspector through the other
Detective
French
waiting in the
doors.
wings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, and Sir John slipped because he said that the painting Robert Goulet said he bought was actually his. So
They always do this.
they
They
always
always
say too
offer too
much.
much.
Like, shut your damn mouth. That's all you got to do.
Plausible deniability, people.
Yeah.
He used the helicopter radio to contact the mainland authorities. They're going to start asking some pretty sharp questions.
They're all so polite about it.
I know.
Oh, hey, Miguel. Hey,
Hi,
Marta.
Miguel.
See, look at them together. Come on.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
console each other
I
in their
see
pants.
something brewing. Oh, by the way, look at the little bow on Miguel's
What is
sweater.
that little
I don't
bow?
know. It's just one. It's just on the left
He has
arm.
a little bow on his sweater.
So maybe Miguel
Is that like his
is
mourning bow? Because it's black. Like, is that like his my father just died and it might be a little chilly later? Like,
Listen, I that little bow's gonna keep his poor little shoulder warm on this cold night, this cold, lonely night. Um, um, so maybe his persuasion is otherwise. He's never gonna
mhm,
get with Marta.
not with that little
They're gonna
bow.
paint their nails together. That's what they're gonna do.
I think they'd love to hang out and go shopping and
Mhm.
discuss art.
Mhm. Meanwhile, Marta is looking stunning in her mourning garb. She's got
Margot,
her hair up in the, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yes. Although that hair, that is very like school marm. Like it needs some pencil
Yeah.
stuck in. I
Fair.
feel. I think it's a
Yeah.
wig. I think it's a wig.
Do you think so?
It's awfully. It's passed off very much off her forehead. It
Mm-hmm.
was very much off her forehead. But some
Yeah.
people have very high foreheads. All right,
That's
everyone's
true.
leaving. Bye, everyone. Unceremonious. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
everything.
Thank you for experiencing this murder with me.
Changed our
Our
lives.
dear friend is dead. Let's all just go back to our lives.
Keeping that painting. Do you think do
Right?
you think Elaine is going to give it to the starving orphans now?
No, she's gonna keep that thing.
Exactly. Now it's just sentimental.
So much for Lady Di. No, she's an opportunist now.
Now she's Mother Teresa.
Mhm. And so the inspector is hot for Jessica, like they
As
always are.
naturally he would be.
Yeah. Jessica, move on. He's not the one for you.
No, that's, I mean,
He's gonna pick your pocket.
I also love, like,
Uh,
again, Mediterranean. Did he have any jurisdiction there? Like, did he have any?
no, none of them did. None of them did.
Yeah.
I mean, and what was the evidence against Sir John? There's no evidence,
Uh, he's right-handed,
as are
and
most of them.
he said he had the painting,
I guess
and he
that.
was swimming in debt.
Okay.
That's enough to make you confess if you have a guilty conscience.
There's no physical evidence whatsoever. So again, just because she's so good at trolling and manipulating people, they get a confession.
She'll get that information.
Yeah, yeah. And Robert Goulet is going to spill anyway, so that it so is implied. Well,
Well, that was it. I mean,
that
the
was
murder was
a
painted. It went by real quick
murder
and
was
not a lot
painted.
really happened. Uh,
Not even that much
it's a
blood,
fun
let's be
one.
honest. It's fun. Yeah. What I really like about it is like I said,
Beautiful
it's
scenery.
very beautiful scenery. It's a tight story, and all of the characters have sort of the same weight in the story, and they're all it feels very play. It feels very theatrical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um
Yeah.
contained, really contained and tight and clean.
Right. Because it's another we're all stuck in one location.
Hmm. Hmm. Those
And
make
one
the
of us
best
in
murder
particular,
mysteries.
I
That's true.
prefer. That's what I prefer. Like any of these, that's why like even when you have a sprawling location, you
Hmm.
kind of have to reduce it to a small, intimate, somewhat
Hmm.
claustrophobic area. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there's no stakes.
Yeah.
Like even when Scream was brought to New York, they had to then get to what was it, a theater, because that had to be a location that they would then only be able to stay in. Like you
Totally.
need a house, you need a castle, you need a
Or even like a
room.
moving subway train, like a confined space that you can't get out
Yeah.
of. Yeah, yeah.
That's fine too. Like a cube thing where you can go into another room or another area and it's a completely different situation,
Yeah.
but you still need to, yeah, you gotta,
Yeah.
because otherwise you can't, no one's getting caught. No one's getting caught.
No. No. We've looped around where we see good old Caesar working with the kids.
With an actual donkey, I don't know if I really realized that the reason they're painting donkeys because they have a donkey model. I
They have
really,
a donkey on site.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and an open bar.
Just
Just
sitting outside
naturally,
next to the kids.
well, it's a distance. They're not, they're, I don't know.
Who set up this little bar outside
Where is the
on
servant?
on like a TV tray?
I guess Margot doubled as like the help because there were
Kind
no,
of.
for a sprawling estate,
Yeah.
there are no servants.
Well, that would give us more suspects, and we cannot complicate the plot that way.
I suppose
There
that's
is
right.
one instant where you see a servant, in sort of a white, oh, it's a little cringy, in a white outfit. Um,
In
but
this,
no, yeah, it's so very brief. Um, let's see if we can find it.
is it dinner?
I think it was earlier even. I think it's in the scene that we were in.
Oops, hang on.
I could be wrong.
Oh, but there are servants serving dinner. So where the hell did they go? Why were
They
they
are not
never
suspects.
included in not remotely?
They don't exist. They're the help, please. It's very upstairs, downstairs. Ooh, Gosford Park. Have you seen it?
Oh yes.
Oh, I
Oh
love
yeah.
Gosford
That's a
Park.
lot of fun. That's another
Brilliant
everyone's
movie.
all in one area trying
Hmm.
to figure things out.
Trapped in.
Sorry, I'm looking for another manservant or maid.
Hmm.
None of them are, maybe they were let off for the weekend. Like it was his birthday party. Why
Maybe.
would they not?
You think there'd be a lot of folks on board to make sure things are going well? Nope.
None of them are here. And then but then he's dead.
Then he's dead.
And none of them are hanging out. Like they were just
No.
at dinner.
Yeah.
So who else did you said
They
you
all
saw
got
you
helicoptered
saw
out.
somebody else
I did. I mean, it's a split second. I think it's actually in the first scene at the
with the donkey?
when the with the kid, and yeah, I think so.
Let's see.
We gotta know. We
We
gotta
gotta
know.
know.
Because I remember thinking like, oh, there's somebody else. But they didn't have any lines and they were just quite
That
literally
was
standing
probably
in between
Antonio.
people. I bet it was. The real mystery is solved. And who's this table of oh, these must be the parents of the kids. Drinking
Oh,
sangria.
I assumed that they were
Mm.
orphans. I assumed that they were, yeah. I didn't really pay attention. Uh Now this Rosa, who is the lady that seems to be running things, she
I have a feeling some of these parts were cut.
yeah.
Because do they even refer to a Rosa?
I think he says goodbye to her because she says thank you for,
Hmm.
hanging out with the kids,
Oh,
teaching
sure.
them how to paint donkeys.
This is the
But
deep dive,
yeah, folks, if you've stuck around this long, we're just gonna start talking some nonsense.
basically.
So
It's okay.
what did we feel about where this episode fits in the canon?
I couldn't help but notice how formulaic things have gotten now. Like we've really established the formula for what it takes to write a Murder, She Wrote episode. And granted, this has all been laid out in many episodes before, but the idea that they're on this in this remote place um without police presence, but there happens to be an inspector there to sort of work with Jessica on solving the murder. It's like that's very convenient, and it seems like a requirement of this show. We need some sort of police or detective or inspector present to work with Jessica in solving the murder, which I
Right.
think like okay, but also I'm like, oh, there's Rosa. Okay.
There's Rosa.
Oh, nice garb, Rosa. She's done up to the nines in the day.
She gives
Um,
him a book. Oh, Jessica Fletcher's. Oh, which book is it? Hang on. Which one is it? Let's
we
see.
must know.
She hands him The Corpse Dance at Midnight, I think it is.
Can we
Oh,
zoom?
but I think it's in Spanish.
Oh.
As naturally it should be, but good for them for having that
That's
detail.
very cool.
Oh, I can't zoom in that much. Lay fuck, I don't know it.
Here, let me do a translation to see if it looks like
Le
it might be.
cadaver something? The cadaver? That would be cadaver would be
Spanish to
corpse.
English. Thank you, Google Translate. Let's see. This is important.
This is vital.
Corpse. Oh, come on. You can do it. You can do it. I feel like I'm on the spot. You know how when you're typing and someone is there watching you type,
Uh-huh.
that's when you no longer can type.
Uh-huh.
So it would
That's
be
it.
El cadáver velo a medianoche. Is
That's
that
what it
sort of what it
says.
says? Is it
That's
really? There we
exactly what
go.
it says.
That's
It's exactly
amazing.
what it says. Yeah.
Come on, details. Okay. Props to the prop
Very, very
person.
smart.
Well done.
Which is so
Um,
strange, like, because Rosa hands it to, like, no, this is my guest who is, oh, maybe
yeah.
he lent it to her. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, probably.
She's giving it back.
She's like, wow. You know why I think this episode feels so fast is because Jessica doesn't show up until like 12 minutes in. And so
It's
it almost
substantial.
feels like
Yeah.
a bunch of exposition that I forgot even happened, to be honest. Isn't there a whole dinner party scene or an evening scene
Yeah.
that happens before she shows up?
Uh,
I think
yes.
so. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a
This whole dinner
bunch.
scene right here with the maid
Yeah,
and the butler that we never see again
yeah, yeah.
because he has to give the painting to Judy Geeson
Hmm.
before Jessica even gets there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so much
Which
happens. Jessica does not show up until the the helicopter touches down at
Oh, there's the
13
servant.
minutes
There's the
and
servant. You see
47
it? There's the
seconds.
servant.
No, I didn't.
No. Yep.
Oh,
You
behind
see?
them.
Yeah. On the beach. I knew it was during the
Oh,
day outside.
you're right. There's a, hang on. Let's see. Uh, Now, of course, they're not showing it.
I know,
Come on.
right? There he is.
Okay, a black gentleman in
Yeah.
a white coat who has to get the luggage. That's what it
Yeah. Yeah.
is. Naturally.
Okay.
And then we never
I
see
know
him
I'm
again
obsessed
either.
about it, but
And then another gentleman. Well, I believe that may have been the pilot.
that's the pilot, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because the pilot is like, now I'm carrying the bags. This
Uh-huh.
is my job. All right.
So I think the reason Jessica shows up late is because it gives Sir John an initial alibi, right? Because they were together.
Yeah, they don't want to make it too obvious because
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they expect the audience to guess it was Robert Goulet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why wouldn't it? So they have to make it so that it can't be
Yeah.
because the audience has to be wrong.
Yeah. It's never quite so easy.
That's Agatha Christie for you.
Hmm.
She'll throw a
Oh,
uh
I'm
Oh,
gonna need you to
Tandon.
back up to that exchange between the inspector and Jessica because it's my favorite line from the episode when he says, I haven't read your books.
JB Fletcher, Jessica to her friends.
A pleasure, Jessica. I'm constantly delighted by your books, and you fool me every time. Well, that is the idea, Belle, and it's so nice to meet you.
I'm afraid I am a stranger to your books, Mrs. Fletcher. My loss, I'm sure.
That's very generous of you, Mr. Cowler.
She, I love it when people say they read her books, or especially when they say they haven't. It's my favorite. And again, it happens almost every episode. So
It does. And
yeah.
sometimes that person says they haven't, when in fact they have.
Uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
shown
The
later.
next one, there's a moment like that that's particularly juicy.
Yeah. The
Anyway,
next one we got is
tough guys
it's the McGraw. No,
don't
no,
die.
it's the tough. Yeah, it's the McGraw
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, yeah.
Fun, fun, fun with our friend Jerry Orbach.
Hmm.
Uh, so my final conclusion. Jessica, top of her form, picking things up, figuring out the clues. Excellent supporting cast. Uh, kind of I don't know, like everything is more interesting than the actual motivation.
Yeah.
But that's true of a lot of murders. A lot of people are killed
Hmm.
for really just simple things.
Yeah.
Um, poor Cesar Romero.
Poor
Uh,
Cesar
his
Romero.
his
Indeed.
he really committed to his his part. All of the guests are really lovely, particularly Capucine and Judy Geeson.
Hmm.
Again, the
Totally.
women in the show are always top
Always
notch.
so good. Yeah.
Always so
Even
good.
Margot as the
Mm-hmm.
young bride is really, really lovely to watch.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really well
Yeah.
acted episode, I think.
Well, and when that's one reason that like once the show has bad actors, when they pop in,
Hmm.
they really make a thud because they
Yeah.
really can't compete with some of the fantastic work that a lot of other
Yeah.
folks are doing.
Totally. Like the sculptor here.
Or yeah,
Like,
yeah, he disappeared real quick too. He
yeah.
wasn't even at the accusatory scene.
Did
He
we
had nothing
mention
to
that he
say.
is actually a Bolivian expat who defected and is like running from the secret police or something? Like, and that's why he couldn't have been the murderer. I mean,
He had too
we
much
kind of
going on.
glazed over
Yeah.
that, but yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Listen, the episode's only 48 minutes, 46 or 45 if we can take out the credits. There's
Uh-huh.
only so much time. There's only so
Yeah.
much time.
We do what we can do.
Uh, well, there we go. It was the gallery owner.
It was the gallery owner. Want some money.
Cool, cool. And if you're gonna have crossbows on your wall, expect that might come back and shoot you in the back.
Or bolt them onto the wall for God's sakes.
Don't have the arrows next to them. Like that was
Jesus.
the really the
Make
that
it
was
too
really the
easy.
yeah, I know. When
They were
you
literally
mount a
right next to
gun to the wall, you
swords.
you don't put it with bullets. Like you
No,
you have to yeah. Make it a little bit more sporting.
careless.
Sparting.
Careless. Hire a
All right,
decorator for
folks.
God's sakes.
Come on. Commit to a theme. Come on. It's
Seriously.
mid-century. Come on.
Weapons is not a decor, okay?
Unless are you ever seen the movie Death Trap
No,
with
I don't
Michael
think so.
Caine and Christopher Reeve?
I don't think so. No.
All right. All right. Somehow I got to get you to watch that with me because that is
Okay.
one of my
All right.
favorite films and
Adding to my radar right now. I've certainly
it
heard
should
of
be
it.
there.
Yeah.
Michael Caine, Christopher Reeve, and Diane Cannon. So good.
Oh.
So fucking good. Anyway, there's a
Oh, look
wall
at
full
her,
of
yeah.
weapons in that film and play as well. All right. Well, there we have it. It was the
Yep,
gallery owner. All right.
we did it. We
Well,
solved it.
next
Kudos
time
to the cast.
catch us in Boston where we're gonna meet Harry McGraw and some other fabulous characters. And we hope for the best.
What a treat. Can't wait.
Right? Is that the next one?
It is the next one. Yeah.
Footnote to Murder?
No, no, no. It's tough
Sudden
guys
Death?
don't
Tough
die.
Guys Don't Die. There we go.
Tough guys don't
Jeepers.
die.
All right, folks. I'm Victor Devon,
I'm petrified.
and this
This
was
was
Tonight
Tonight
on
on Murder, She
Murder, She
Wrote.
Wrote.
I give it 85%. Copyright claim.
No, sorry.
Can you imagine?
Kind of. I keep getting those messages from NBC that they don't like my reels.
Oh no. NBC
Follow
can
us on
book it.
Instagram, Murder She Wrote Pod. I tried.
Hawkeye's a Murder, She Wrote. Okay.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.